Everyone here, though, Jackson Holliday is the name that's been getting the most traction, right? Colton Cowser, Kobe Mayo, Heston Kjerstad, a lot of these young players that people are very interested in. But this is the player, Jackson Holliday, that everyone wants to understand a little bit why. So I have 5 clips here of just kind of showing Jackson Holliday's success over the last couple weeks in spring training. And it might not seem like a lot to you, but this is a hitter at 20 years old that is so much more advanced than I think people realize. I want people to get an understanding of what he does extremely well. And for me, when you're that young and in big moments, this is Zach Wheeler. Get it. Zach Wheeler, one of the best pitchers in the National League. He's probably working on his stuff, but 2-strike count, Jackson is so relaxed with his setup and his load. So I want you to focus on that. We know the result here. He's going to smack a pitch. Let's play it through. Okay. Great swing. Ball's torched. Almost a home run. You're feeling really good. Now, I want to go back to this one for a second because I do think that what I like about this, when I was talking about with Jackson Holliday, when you're a young player, I've got to get this thing up here. When you're a young player, okay, being comfortable with your setup is so important. And I want you to watch how controlled his movement going back. So meaning when he's starting off, he is going to get the proper transfer of weight, or what I like to tell people is you get a lot of power, but you got to go back to go forward. That's like the terminology that people look at. Jackson is loading up and going back to go forward, but he's doing it under control. So when you're seeing this, look at that. So easy, under control. So when the ball's coming in, he's in a great position. He's able to get the bat to it, and his bat comes flying through the zone. And I think that's a part that is so exciting for Orioles fans, is bat speed and the ability to slow himself down. It's a great combination to have. Let's continue on with this, with what Jackson Holliday does. This was the next at bat, I believe, or yeah, it was later in the game. Yep, 3rd inning, 0-0 count. He's being aggressive early with Castillo. And what I love with Jackson here, he's just ready to hit. And he's feeling good, and all of a sudden, pitch, middle, he's driving this ball. And here's the other thing for young hitters. Young hitters learning how to hit the ball to all parts of the field is so important. And his other tool that people don't talk about is his speed. Jackson Holliday is extremely, extremely fast, great athlete. And I tell people this all the time. I wish I worked on this more as a kid, but I played other sports. That's something that I never wish I would have changed. I wish I kept playing more sports. But if you saw Jackson talk in the offseason, he likes to be active and even do movements that aren't baseball related. It ultimately is going to help you as an athlete. But I wish I got better at my running mechanics. I run like a duck. How he runs, it's fantastic because he truly can turn a single into a double into a triple, and be able to extend plays with his legs. That's essentially what he's capable of doing. Okay, as we keep going here, this is interesting. This is a different angle, and this is actually shout out to Andy Kafka with the Baltimore Banner, because this angle here, I want you to understand, this is after Jackson started he started the game 0 for 2. And when you're a young hitter and you're going through struggles, how do you bounce back? And I thought one of the best examples of advice that I got was hearing one at bat can change your entire mindset, can change your entire game. The hard thing is when you're young and you're going through that, to understand that. And Jackson, when he talked with Rocco, even said those words. He goes, I'm really, really worried about the next at bat. And I was 2 for my last 2, which he ended up doing this. He got a hit here and a triple the next at bat. But talking about using the whole field, this is how you can stay out of the slump. The adjustment here, he's going to drive this ball to left center for a hit to get right back on track. And that might not seem like much to a lot of people, but to me, a guy that can go the other way, and you can also see how much power he has to center and to right center, it's ultimately going to help you stay out of slumps. Jackson Holliday, since the first 2 games of spring training, has really been tremendous at finding his ways to adjust, especially as games go on. Sometimes, too, it's great to be lucky. But Jackson's in a great position, and actually why I wanted to have this video up here is because the other ones you might not be able to tell it, Jackson is able to keep his front shoulder in so well. And what I mean by that is in the previous Jorge Mateo breakdown, I talked about, I'll come to this part of the screen now. If I was talking about as a hitter, okay, and if you're going to swing and that first movement is going off the ball like this, your shoulder gets long, the bat gets longer, and your head comes off the baseball, right? But as you watch with Jackson here, Jackson's front shoulder is already on the baseball to stay in. And when you stay closed and allow yourself to get in a good position, then the bat can come flying through. And that's what Jackson Holliday does so well. Now, this one, he gets more lucky than anything. And that's sometimes what you got to do is just be lucky. He's going to swivel a ball down the line, but he's going to get a base hit out of it. But I'm showing this because it's setting up the grand slam that's going to be the next clip I'm going to show you to kind of put this all together, okay? Oh, there it is. Might as well just show this as well. Great jump, shuffle, shuffle, great anticipation. And that's another part of his game that is not talked about. Okay, this is what I really wanted to talk about. So I talked about his front shoulder being on the baseball. Look at where that is. That thing is tucked in. So his first movement when he's going back is that front shoulder is staying on the baseball in a super strong position. And when we talked about it before, 2 strikes on Jackson Holliday, well, guess what? It doesn't matter. He puts himself in a position, lefty on lefty, and his front foot is still going to land more centered, and it might be a little bit off-angled, but he is still more centered and balanced, regardless that his body is going to fall off here and drive it, because that's where the ball is going to go, is the right center. He stays on the baseball long enough with his first movement this way, and then after it and he extends through, he's going to fall away. And we all know the results here. Pimps that puppy. He knows it's gone. It's a great moment for him. And you're seeing all the skills that he's capable of doing. And this, for him, he expects it. He expects to be this good. And not that he's overconfident or he's cocky. He's not. He's the last thing from all of that. But you have to have belief that you can go up there against any pitcher, especially in the major leagues, and have success. And Jackson Holliday, it seems, as spring's gone on, he's gotten more confidence that he belongs. Here's that side angle. And I think this is the beautiful part of it. Look at the positions he's in. Look where that front shoulder is in. That thing is tucked in. That thing's in a great position. So when this is his firing spot right here, okay? He is in the exact right position he needs to be. So when his body's going forward, he's ready to do some serious damage. And you're going to see it. And that's just, and he knew it. When you're feeling frisky, you'll let it fly. You'll let it eat. Jackson Holliday is such a talented player, and the Orioles got it right by picking him number 1 overall. And I think the beauty that people need to understand, if he makes the roster or not, to me is irrelevant. His future is higher than anybody else that's coming into Major League Baseball. The only other player on the Orioles I'd rival him with for long-term is Gunnar Henderson, very high on Gunnar. But Jackson Holliday is a type of player that everything's there. And if he's ready and they think he's going to play every day, he has every makings to make every adjustment as quick as possible. But you got to live with the growing pains for him. But you are seeing the ceiling. There really is no ceiling for Jackson Holliday. But what we do know is Jackson Holliday will be in Baltimore. And I know for a lot of Oriole fans, you're hoping that's going to be coming down the orange carpet, playing second base on March 28th against the Angels.